previous videos, we learned how Stable Diffusion works. Then we discussed how to create prompt and what the negative prompt is good for. We also discussed where to download models and how to change them inside Automatic 111 Studio. And then we were also generating some pictures inside text to image. So now it's time to see something a little more interesting. And that's a way how to influence Stable Diffusion inside image to image to generate something not just based on prompt or negative prompt, but we can also lead the denoising process using the picture. In order for you to use image to image, you have to switch, if you are using SDXL model, into so-called SDXL refiner, which is meant for image to image. Now let's load into image to image my picture. So this is me standing in front of a house. And we will use this picture and some text prompt to lead denoiser to generate some result. Let's discuss only the new control element. So let's set sampling steps into 30. Now what is this resize mode? This picture is actually quite big. We can check it here, resize by. So we see that currently the picture is 1024 by 1365. So we definitely won't be using this, but we will still try to keep the ratio. So we will change it into 520 by 768, or maybe what we can do 768 by 1024, because we are using SDXL model, so at least one should be native to the model, and that's 1024. These were usually pictures used to train it. And here the resize mode is just telling us, should I just resize, but in that case I can malform the picture, or should I crop and resize? So usually you want to select crop and resize. And yeah, then this CFG scale is just telling us how much it should follow our prompt. Denoising strength is just telling us how much different the generated picture would be against the prompt and the picture that we are putting here. So let's try something like 0.5. And let's type a prompt, a man standing inside dystopian city, a high-res, a highly detailed. And let's say we don't want to ugly, malformed. And let's hit generate, just let's increase the bit size to 4 to see what it can do. And I think that's it. So let's hit generate and let's see the result. So we are instructing Stable Diffusion generative AI to generate the picture based on a text prompts, but also based on a picture. So we should see something similar. It will be just slightly changed. So let's see what the generative AI can do. Okay, so our pictures are generated, so we can check it here. So we see then in 3 pictures, as on the original picture, not much hair. The posture is very similar, but time to time there are some artifacts. These can be then later changed, for example in Photoshop. Or you will see that we can also try to fix it using the Stable Diffusion. So this is how to lead Stable Diffusion to generate something based on the picture. And now let's try something a little more interesting. So let's switch into instruct pix to pix, which is a model trained to replace one pixel by another, and we will send me into Inpaint. Inpaint is allowing us to create some mask, and this mask will be then used for the generation. So let's just mask like that my body, and let's see. So let's create a mask. Okay, that should be enough. Now if we check it, we have here some new things. So what is mask content? So should it use the original, what is on the picture? Or should it replace the original with latent noise or latent nothing, which usually translates into black color? So if you want to generate something totally new, then you would use latent noise. But if you just want to change something existing, you can just keep the original. Now we will use 30 sampling steps. Here we have a new control, which is image CFG scale, which means how much it should follow the image. And we will set the denoising strength to 1 because we want to change it a lot. And let's delete the let's delete the prompt and type change him into Captain America. Let's keep for batch size. We will change because I believe it was trained using version 1 model. So let's decrease the size here to make sure that at least one size is 512. And now let's see if we hit generate. The pix to pix should be able to replace the pixels and generate something interesting. Okay, so the generation finished and here is our result. So as you can see, it was able to keep everything intact. It was working just on a mask content, and this is how it looks like. So if we just open these pictures, obviously it would be needed to put it into Photoshop and fix it a little, but I mean, given that I just entered a prompt and selected something, I mean, the result is pretty amazing. Okay, now maybe we can try one more thing. So I'll just load here a picture of my head and let's see, change him into Joker. And I think we can just load the size from the picture. Let's hit generate and see what will happen. Okay. Okay, so it generated these pictures, and now what if we decrease image CFG scale and hit generate again? Okay. So what if we decrease denoising strength into, let's say, 0.8? Okay. And if we go here, let's say 0.6. So it's keeping the original picture and just a little changing it. Oh, or maybe we can go here into one and here inside how image should influence the output on a higher value, and let's see. Looks interesting. Okay. Now the next thing that I want to show you, if we load a full picture into image2img, we can also do so-called outpainting, which means increasing or extending the picture. So let's put here a cloud. And when you want to extend the picture, you will just select the script, poor man's outpainting. We can decrease the denoising strength. Of course, we have to change the model back into SDXL refiner. Let's wait for this to finish. This is amount of pixels it will be outpainted, and it's usually a good idea to outpaint just a single direction. And let's see if we do generate. Now I believe we kept the size of the picture, so let's go into this and interrupt. Okay, now we entered new values. Now let's hit generate. And it should actually extend the picture in the up direction. Okay, and we can see it finished, and it actually extended the picture by these 128 pixels. I mean, it's not perfect, but if you play with it a little, it can help you expand the image. Another thing that I would love to show you is something called Sketch. So I'll just import here the white background, and now it allows you to paint. So let's paint an apple. So we will just sketch an apple like this, and we will tell that we want to see an apple. This is good, batch size is good. We will just disable Bourdsman outpainting, and let's see, let's hit generate. Okay, so we see it generated these 4 pictures of apple. Now, of course, it means that it really followed the picture. So let's just increase the size and let's fill in our apple like this. And let's hit generate now and see what would be the result. Okay, so we can see generated these pictures of apples, which definitely looks better than my original picture. And now if we just increase the denoising strength into 85 and hit generate, then it should be able to generate much more nicer apple, because we are allowing it to change it significantly more. Okay, so the generation is finished, and we can see that we got 4 pictures, and I think this one looks really good, and this is also good. Again, there are some artifacts, but it can be fixed. But I mean, if you just compare it, it really looks quite similar, and this is how we can just sketch something and then generate based on that. And that's it, guys. That's how to use image2img to influence reversed diffusion or denoising process inside Stable Diffusion.